Last week on Thursday Night Therapy, a tense standoff between our heroes and an unknown pirate captain was ultimately amicably settled, with the stranger introducing himself as Merrill Pegsworthy from the nearby Firegrass Isle. The apparently cordial captain proclaimed his innocence, an unintentional intrusion. The flag warning of the Scribyard's current engagement had not been raised. A tentative trust was formed, and Captain Pegsworthy and his ship were allowed to stay. And as Rickety requested our crew investigate the flag tower, Merrill was invited to join them, and so he did. The hike up around the ridge towards the flag tower was pleasant enough, until our heroes crossed paths with some wild boars. With little time to react, and even less room to maneuver, a conflict was inevitable. And the two boars were swiftly put down, but out of the shadow of the canopy trotted another pig, one of immense size. A frantic rage in its eyes, it thundered into Des, knocking him backwards with a nasty wound gashed deeply into his chest. The others stepped up to protect him, with Torrin actually teleporting herself onto the beast's back, administering shocks of electricity while holding on to the thrashing animal. Captain Skullcrusher, true to his name, eventually brought his mace down onto the creature's head, collapsing its cranium and ensuring the safety of the party. The group pressed on to the tower, where they found the dead body of Lyle, the lookout, with an oddly swollen wound on his neck, perhaps the work of the wasps. Amongst the debris, they also found a parrot, the one in a sorry state, most of its feathers seemingly plucked out. With the body of Lyle wrapped in a hammock and the parrot sat on Dez's hand, our heroes made their way back to the yard, collecting the pig carcasses on the way. Conversation during the trek eventually turned to the owlbear, which Merrill, it would seem, had a story to tell. And that's where we're going to pick up this week. Woo. Oh, I needed to cough all the way through that.
Don't die. We need you. Who will tell the stories?
I'm also going to apologise to the viewers. I plugged my phone into my computer to charge and it went beep beep, and now that's on the video forever. So I apologise.
I didn't notice it.
No,
I didn't hear either.
It just came through my headphones, so I think it's on the video now. Yay!
And if it doesn't, you can put a little laughing face with the words of "Nadz is silly."
Yeah.
Lol.
Carry on.
So, the 5 of you are now trekking your way back to the village. And I think you were all expecting a story when we finished last week. Huh?
You want a story?
Maybe.
No.
Okay, where was I? Yes, story of the owlbear. Oh, yes. So, you did want the long version, correct?
Yes.
It's a long walk.
Okay.
But tell us the proper story.
So, many years ago, on the docks of Port Peril, 2 strapping young men decided to indulge their fantasies of piracy and find placement on one of the many ships that passed through the capital. Harrigan and the owlbear. As luck would have it, they both spied upon the same impressive-looking ship and almost simultaneously strode onto the deck of the Crooked Star, helmed by the renowned Captain Van Horn. They demanded that they be taken on as crew and soon found themselves on the open sea, learning the life of a pirate, and inevitably becoming good friends. Now, all could see that these two had potential. Large, strong and sharp, fearless and highly motivated, and despite their relatively young age, they were both able to climb the ranks of the ship, and both obtained a place as an officer within only a couple of years. At this point, Captain Van Horn lost his first mate in a Sauhugan attack, and turned to these two young men for his replacement. A tough choice, as both were capable, but he eventually chose Harrigan, deeming his overbearing, brutish nature more useful than Owlbear's slyness. Owlbear was disappointed, of course, and soon came to realize that if he were ever to become a captain himself, he would either have to go through Harrigan or join another ship. And so, only a few months later, Owlbear left the Crooked Star and found a position as first mate aboard the Serpent's Cry. The two friends wished each other well and went their separate ways. A couple more years passed, and as luck would have it, within the same month, the captains of the Crooked Star and the Serpent's Cry perished, with the respective first mates taking their place. Owlbear and Harrigan, now captains of their own ships, began carving their names into the Shackles, and a friendly rivalry began between the two. Harmless at first, simple one-upmanship, the rivalry slowly started to turn bitter, and the two men actively disrupting and sabotaging the businesses of the other. Harrigan caught word of a merchant ship, part of a small fleet that had run aground. Damaged and unable to continue, it was sailed up a remote estuary and left behind by the fleet, hopefully to be recovered at a later date. Harrigan paid a high price to obtain the whereabouts of the ship from one of the fleet's officers and set off to salvage what was still remained in its hold. Well, the Owlbear was also able to obtain this information, and wanting to outdo his rival, and with his slightly faster ship, got there first. Harrigan arrived just in time to see the Owlbear sailing away, his ship filled with plunder. Harrigan, enraged by this, once again bought some information, this time from one of the Owlbear's crew, for the secret location of his stash of plunder. Harrigan sailed to the Owlbear's secret location and took all he had. Owlbear was not pleased and immediately set out for Harrigan. They met in Port Peril, in a tavern called the Slippery Whale, and thus commenced one of the most legendary bar brawls the capital has ever seen. Two pirate crews locked in battle, at the centre of which the two captains themselves. Harrigan, the larger man, used his size and brute strength to his advantage, gaining the upper hand and eventually smashing a glass bottle onto the Owlbear's face, blinding him in one eye. With the Owlbear bloodied and broken on the floor, the fighting stopped, and Harrigan let the last small piece of friendship remaining sway him, and allowed the Owlbear to leave with his life, the matter seemingly settled for good. But the Owlbear, defiant in his defeat, took to his ship and left Port Peril, but not before setting Harrigan's ship ablaze. Any humanity remaining, any ability Harrigan had to show mercy, died on that evening, and sank to the seabed like the charred ashes of his ship. Harrigan crashed in every favour he had in Port Peril and arranged an ambush, paying a trio of pirate captains to aid him. Once found, the Owlbear's ship was overrun, and the crew and its captain set in chains. One after the other, Harrigan took a member of the Owlbear's crew and slit their throat before his eyes, one by one, until all were dead. The bodies were tossed onto the Serpent's Cry, and the ship was set on fire, Owlbear once again forced to watch. With his crew and ship gone, the Owlbear resigned to await his inevitable execution, but it did not come. Harrigan deemed death simply too easy, and decreed that the owlbear would serve him on his ship till the end of his days, not as an officer, not even as a swab, but the lowest of the low, like a dog. Before doing so, he would take the only thing that the owlbear had left away from him, his wits. Forced to watch Harrigan prosper in his captaincy within the feeble husk that was once his mind. Harrigan had his sorceress cast some spell upon him, and the owlbear became the bumbling idiot he is today. At least, that's how the story goes.
Oh. Immediately turn and look at Torrin, raise my eyebrows, and say, is there anything you or a Sandar can do about that? It's true.
I've never heard of any magic that can do that. That is far beyond what I know. But who knows? There may be something that we can come up with, maybe. I don't know whether it would be something that she's more experienced with, but it's not something I know anything about.
I'll ask her when
That
we
is
get back.
powerful magic.
Yeah. Turn me. Wow, it's that was a bloody good story. Thank you for sharing.
Well, that's just how I heard it.
Now, I mean, you know, it's a good story and all that, but are we sure it wasn't just him being smacked with this idea of a bottle that did it?
Well, yeah, as you know, most stories are embellished here and there. But I think you'd also agree that all stories have some truth to them.
You know, just saying. If resident witch over here, or wizard, or whatever you like to call yourself, love, hasn't heard of such things, it's entirely possible that such a thing doesn't exist.
It is possible, of course.
No, magic's a weird thing. So, how well do you know Harrigan? Quite well?
Oh, not very well. I mean, I know of him, as do all of the free captains in the Shackles.
They strike you as the kind of man who would prefer to sleep on the floor rather than a big plush bed.
He gives you a very confused look.
Sorry,
Trying
there
to
is
judge,
there is some context here. Yeah, we happen to sorry. Point of note, as a player, was it who saw that he was sleeping on the floor, and she was on the bed?
Was that
Lanny's
when
rat.
I spoke with the rat? So I would have told the group, but
You would have told us.
Lanny did tell the group, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, at that point, yeah, Lanny would cut in and say, "Yeah, actually, my little rat friend did actually see him. He crept into Captain Harrigan's quarters. He's sleeping on the floor, and his floozy was in the bed."
Longfarthing, I mean, those two have been together as long as I've been in the Shackles. They go back quite a way. I'm not exactly sure what their relationship is, though I assumed it was purely business.
Seems
But
to me like
who
there was
knows?
a little bit of pleasure in that, so...
Well, it was me thinking that, you know, Captain's sleeping on the floor of his own quarters, and his magic user using the bed. That, well, does that not sound a little bit like maybe she's controlling him? Maybe Harrigan's not the captain after all. You know, maybe he's a facade.
Or it's entirely possible he's being led around by his dick.
There's also that. And I know people that do prefer the planks to a bed. You know, not unheard of, I suppose.
I know people that think with their dicks. Looking at Des.
Hey,
Yes, something to say?
I take offence to that.
I don't care.
Right.
I mean, I suppose it's possible. I mean, the stories I've heard of Harrigan in his younger days, I mean, he made his way to captain on his own merit by himself. I'm not exactly sure when he met Longfarthing, but it is possible she is somehow... I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's all
As,
just stories at the end of the day, innit?
As much as I hate to admit that I did appreciate Des saying how smart I am, there are lots of things I don't know about magic. However, controlling people with magic, well, that's a little easier. Not easy by any stretch, but something that is known. It is possible that Harrigan is a puppet, shall we say. But, in the words of our newfound friend here, he did get to where he is on his own merit. There are lots of things that we don't know. There's lots of things that I presume we will not ever know.
Well, we've got a lot of time to ruminate on those things, and
And hopefully a lot of time before we see Harrigan again.
well, yeah, that's the hope, innit?
I'm not in the mood to break bread with him anytime soon. And I think that he'd rather break our necks.
Sooner we get to this pirate king and swear an oath of fealty to him, the better. At least we'll have some form of protection.
You're planning to become free captains?
I mean, why not? It sounds like quite an astute thing to do. Well, I mean, I'm guessing you are.
If you're... Oh, yeah, yes, of course. And if you're capable of doing so, then I can only recommend it.
We'll take that advice in high regard. Yeah. What's our plans anyway when we get back?
Back to the shipyard, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, as far as I was concerned, we're going to have a bit of a fry-up. We're going to let old Rickety know that his mate up here's kicked it. And,
I'm sure he'll know as soon as we put the body down in front of him.
we know we'll be a bit of a giveaway, yes. But I was just going to plan on sitting back and waiting for the next, plague of locusts or frogs or something to turn up.
Yeah. Time out a second. Did anyone else hear that?
Yeah.
What, the knocking sound?
No, the weird, like, fuzzing.
No.
Okay, that
Okay.
was my end then. That's fine. That's cool.
Okay.
Carry on. It's happening again.
It's happening again! The voices!
Oh, God. We've all gone mad.
Yeah, it's one of those sessions.
It's not showing up on my... It's not making a signal on my mixer, so I don't have to worry about it. I think it's just my headphone. Jack.
5.
Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Technical difficulties music.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, demonetization!
As if we're monetized.
I know. Anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
hi.
So,
Yeah, it
So you
does
want
seem
them
that we're moving towards this this pirate king eventually in our plans. So, do you have any advice as
Upon-
someone who has made acquaintances before?
well, I think you simply must gather enough infamy, shall we say, in the Shackles that you warrant an audience. You have to prove yourselves that you are capable pirates, and pirates indeed.
So we need to be
And-
walking in there with a reputation.
Basically, yes. I mean, without some reputation, he will probably refuse to even have audience with you.
All right.
Changes things a little bit.
But if you manage to do so, if you get your name out there, take some ships and some plunder, then
I think we've
You
got
should.
a few ideas.
be able to buy yourself a place as a free captain. It does cost a little bit, but of course it does come with other benefits.
Give me
Instead
2
of buying a
seconds.
place as a company, or each one of us as free captains ourselves.
Well, for each free captain, he does expect a payment, a tax, you may call it.
Is that like per head or is it per ship?
Per captain.
Noted.
Although, I mean, I am the owner of now 4 ships, and my secondary ships have their own captains, but only I hold the title of a free captain. Does that make sense?
It does.
Clear as day.
Although there are exceptions. There is a trio of captains. The Wise Council of the Three, they are called, in Shenshu Bay. They seem to be on equal levels with each other. Each a free captain in their own right. So, you can do it however you please.
A wise trio of Shenshu Bay. Sounds like a load of horse shit to me.
Sounds like it should be a drinking song of some sort.
Okay, so you continue your way along the track, nearing the docks. Merrill continues the conversation a little bit as you walk, turning to the twins. So, where are you two from originally? Not from these parts, I'm guessing.
Out of character, I've forgotten.
God damn it.
Oh, for God's sakes.
We are from Port Peril, aren't we?
Somewhere nearby.
You're from a different country altogether.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
nearby
actually called Riddle. You're from the city of Riddleport.
Ah, Riddleport. Yes, I knew there was a port in the name. Riddleport.
Which is... Oh. What brings you this far south?
Well,
business.
yeah, business and a couple of other things. Of other bits and bobs. And
Am I right in understanding that this is not in fact the reason that you came here? I mean, you seem to be taking on this life of piracy, but I sort of under the impression that it wasn't exactly planned.
Well, no, exactly.
What gives you, out of interest, mate? What gives you that impression about us?
Well, you seem to be a little bit. I don't want to be rude, and it's not meant to be offensive at all, but you do seem like a little bit out of your element, let's say. And seeing that you were on Harrigan's ship, I don't know. Just the feeling I was getting. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no, you are very astute, Captain Pegsworthy. We were actually press ganged. That might be the source of our ire towards a certain Captain Harrigan.
Terrible business.
Yeah.
Yes, we didn't take particularly kindly to it. I've got to say.
No, it's not something I would ever partake in personally.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to say, I don't suppose you. You seem too classy to be gaining crew members by those particular means.
No, of course. Where I'm from, every man has the right to choose his path, and forced labour, slavery, these are things abided in my home country.
Yes, it's a nasty business, and my brother and I, we were actually courting a new client for our business when we were so unceremoniously taken.
I see. But now you've decided to stay, it would seem.
It's got its merits.
Yeah, merits.
I mean, we're kind of looking for someone who is of the nautical persuasion.
Okay.
So this just fast forwards our plans a bit. It moves our schedule forward a little bit. We were playing it slow and steady, but it seems that fate and life has taken us in this direction.
As fate and life is often want to do.
Oh, I know the feeling very well. I never imagined I would end up here in the Shackles, a pirate, no less. But yes, life has its way of taking you down paths you didn't expect to tread.
Yeah. But being businessmen, we recognise opportunities when we see them, and we grab them with both hands. So what we might have lost with our client, we might have gained in a new branch of our business.
Yes, it never hurts to have a few friends on hand.
Oh, of course not. So I would say you're nearing the dockyard now. Does anybody else have a question or something they want to talk to Meryl about?
I am just going to touch on something. I'm going to shoot my brother a look, and then turn back to the captain himself. And I'm going to say, I mentioned it earlier on, and I don't know if I caught a reaction there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but do you know of a captain or anyone in the business by the name of Gavin McCrae?
Oh yes, you did mention that name. Well, I know of a McCrae. He lives at Tidewater Rock. He bases his business there. Has a couple of ships, I believe. From what I hear, he thinks of himself as a pirate, but in reality he's more of a smuggler or a merchant. I believe he married some rich tart from Chilaxia, who was actually the one who was able to obtain the Tidewater Rock for him. And with her contacts, he's been able to make some profitable business transactions.
Just give my brother
I don't know
another
if this
look.
is the man you're looking for, but...
Yes, Dez's face will be, if anyone who's willing to look, his normal kind of grin, or half grin that he wears on his face at all times is slipped somewhat.
Tidewater Rock, you say? Well, that's a location to put in the notebook there, brother.
Yes, indeed.
I'm going to shoot Dez a look. Whether he notices or not. Sort of... almost making him aware that I've clocked something there.
He will know it. He'll look back and he won't. There's no sign of a grin or a smile or anything like that. It's just a look of just a glower.
You had any dealings with this McCrae?
No, not personally. As I said, he generally keeps to himself and to his businesses. And, as I said, not a real pirate, certainly not a free captain.
Not a free captain.
And personally,
you
I've
say.
had...
Not a free captain.
Not a free captain, no. And personally, I've had, up until now, no reason to do business with him.
Oh, thank you very much for the insights. It's well, it's a lot more than we've got in the last few months, isn't it, bruv?
Indeed it is. And I would ask that you not mention to anyone else that we may have been asking after him. We wouldn't want word to get to him that other people are looking for him or anything like that.
Yeah, keep that on the down low if you would, Captain. Be very grateful.
Fair enough.
I would consider it a personal favour.
As would I.
Sure. Your secret is safe with me.
Much obliged.
So, at this point, I would say you reach the dockyard. You're eventually able to drop these pigs that you've been dragging back all the way. It's getting close to early evening. And, as you arrive, Rickety sees you and approaches and inevitably sees the... well, what he can only assume is Lal's body in the hammock. Oh, have you found him?
Right, so it's like I mean, I'm not a doctor, but it looks like a wound from one of those wasps.
Oh, bugger. What a shame.
Well, you'll need to reman that tower right quick.
Aye, I'll get someone up there right now.
I
Thank
don't-
you very much.
Oh, no worries. I don't want to tell you to run your business, but you might want to send a lookout for your lookout, if you know what I mean. You might want to have a team up
that
there.
might be wise in future. To have two up there just to be safe.
Oh, yeah.
Aye, not a bad idea. Anyway, thank
Redundancy
you
is
very
always a
much.
good idea.
I missed that, sorry.
Sorry. So, redundancy is always a good idea. Alright?
Aye. Right, here. And he turns and then he extends a coin purse towards you. Here's the 500 gold, I promise.
Very much.
And he hands it to you.
Take
And
it
thank
and
you
I'll-
once again. You didn't have to do that, but it is much appreciated. And
well-
sorry for any inconveniences that have been caused by this.
But if you will
This,
excuse the pun, we're all
unfortunate
in the
event.
same boat.
Well, aye. Still, this is embarrassing, I must say. This has not happened in all my years here. Not once.
Really, out of interest, and I'm gonna like hold out the parrot. Like, you got any idea who this belongs to?
Oh, aye, that's Pluck. That was Lyle's parrot.
Ah, right. So, no one will be wanting to take him on. Then?
I don't think so. I think most people here find him right aggravating.
Oh, you're not aggravating, are you, Pluck?
No.
I reckon
Raise
you've got
an
a new friend there,
eyebrow.
bruv.
Oh, I think he's quite cute, to be honest. Adorable.
I'll hand the coin purse to our illustrious captain.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Devvie. I'll keep hold of that.
Right you are,
Yeah.
Captain Skullcrusher.
We got dinner too.
Oh, lovely! I
Got
just
this
saw that. We
script.
can.
Bloody
We'll
big
get
one.
those. We'll get those prepared. Perhaps we could save the big one for your final evening here, and we can have a right good send-off dinner.
Sounds delicious.
Lot of meat. This one will feed everybody for weeks.
Oh, aye. Okay. So, with that, the pigs are taken into the common house, prepared for eating. Work is drawing to a close now. As I said, it is evening. And once again, are able to spend an evening here with the team, with your crew, relaxing and recuperating from another relatively strenuous day on the slithering coast. Would anyone like to tell a story this evening?
Ooh. A story. I really should have thought of
Just
this.
something.
Hey, didn't you have something
I
in
don't-
mind before, mate? Did you?
I did have something
Don't
in
have
mind
it,
before.
I don't expect a full story, but as I said, you have the opportunity if you're spending the evening in a location like this, or perhaps in a tavern in a dock, you can take the opportunity to address a number of the people there, and perhaps tell a story of your travels, of your crew, of your ship.
I mean, I could probably do one. But I did one last time, so I don't know if I'm going to do one again.
Or you might end up being the ship's storyteller.
This
Maybe-
does involve a roll, so
I do have
high
a good
charisma
performance.
would help.
I do have a good performance.
Yeah, but Troy, if you want to go again.
Alright. Remind me quickly, what was the name of the creatures that we rescued Sandara from?
Grindelow.
Grindelows, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you back? You're at Rickety Squibs. Have you been there the whole time?
What?
What?
You, as players in Roll20, you're at Rickety Squibs. You're at the dock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you been there the whole time?
The
Yeah.
whole
Yes.
time this session, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were on the other screen. I only just realised.
No, I mean, the maps did change when you were doing the action last session.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah. No. I meant this session. It's
Yeah.
okay. I've been
Yeah,
on.
no.
I've been on the other screen on the trail the whole time.
Oh, right, yeah. No, we were there.
Okay. Oh well. No matter.
Right then. Right then, everybody, gather round. I have got a tale for you that will make you shiver in anticipation. So, are Sandor and Rosie here with us?
Oh, yep. They'll be around.
Okay. let me spin you a yarn of the time that we braved the caves of the Grindelow to save our erstwhile companions over here, Sandara and Rosie, and I'll point to them out to everyone. One dark and stormy night, our companions here were stolen from the ship, taken off into the stormy seas. We thought we would never see him again. The next day, we were sent out by the captain for fresh water. Onto an island, small island it was, full of terrors, full of monsters. Turns out, our friends had been taken there. So we crept up. We found their cave, out on the seafront. We crept up. We jumped down, took out their sentries. Bam, 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 bam. They never saw us coming. We went into the darkness, into the water. Pitch black it was. Couldn't see anything. More Grindelows coming at us, one by one, left, right, we took them all out. Further into the darkness we went. Further into the darkness we didn't know if we were going to ever see daylight again. Until we found her. The Queen. But the Queen had a son, and the son was this big shark monster. We thought we were done for. One of us, he was eaten. Completely, gone. We thought we'd never see him again. Until we took it out, and he climbed back out again. That was a bit messy. But poor Rosie over there, they'd already taken her leg off. Show him, Rosie.
She holds up the stump.
Yeah. See? Started cutting her away, they did. Nibbling at her, they're going to use her as a store. But we saved her, we did. Went straight in there, into the darkness, rescued our companion, took her back to the ship. That's because we're friends, right? If you're friends with us, we're friends with you. We'll go into the darkness for you. But you mess with us, we'll send you into the darkness, and you won't come back. That's my story.
I quite
I
enjoyed
like
that
it.
one.
I like it.
So, can you make a performance check with advantage, please?
Thank you. Ooh. That'll be a 21.
Okay. Noted. Now, the listeners seem engrossed and impressed by your story, especially all the halfling lads that clambered around Rosie. They seem very impressed by the story. And after you finished, there are some murmurs and chitter amongst them as you realise that you've probably been fairly successful in telling a good story.
All of it true. All of it true. All my life as a pirate, which, to be fair, hasn't been going on for very long. But regardless, it's all true. Swear it.
I think at this point I would explain to you that whenever you're in a port, you also have the opportunity to try and gain more crew. And the choice here is, of course, not too large, but you theoretically have the opportunity if you wish to do so. Now, work on your ship is going to take a few more days. But I think over those few days, you'll have the chance, if you wish. I don't know what you think about that.
Oh, I would say that... Sorry, I'm speaking in character there. I would say that if we are going to have people on our boat, then they need to be able to fight. And the best way of figuring out if they can fight is to fight them.
Aha.
Okay. What are you thinking, Des?
Well, I'm saying that if anyone wants to join up, we will We will express, possibly right here, when we have everyone's rapt attention, that we are looking for crew members, and if they wish to apply, to meet us in the morning, outside, where we will test their mettle.
Okay, so if you're wanting to impress upon them and try and to convince them to join your, I mean, you have a few options how you want to do it. I mean, you can persuade them to join. You can theoretically intimidate them. That's more like press ganging.
Yeah.
You can also theoretically lie to them.
I think that generally we would want to make the prospect seem like a nice idea. So persuasion is probably the way we're going to go with it, because we know what it's like to be press ganged. That's fucking horrible. Yeah. And also lying to them, and then them being out in the open ocean and realising they've been lied to, that's not going to go down well in the future for us.
Nope.
So, tales of our daring do are probably the way to go with this.
As Seth Gecko said in From Dusk Till Dawn, I might be a bastard, but I'm not a fucking bastard.
Yeah.
That is a bit of a reference.
That is a bit of a reference.
You are really dating yourself there, mate.
It is entirely apt.
What's that there, Sonny? Speak up!
He's calling you a bastard.
We get it. We're old.
We're not that old.
Okay.
No, we're not.
So, who would like to make this this little speech then?
I'm speeched out. All right.
Sorry, say that one again.
Well, me.
Me
No,
or
Sean.
I said who would like to make this little speech? Who wants to stand up and try and persuade some of the people here to possibly think about joining your crew?
Persuasion's not really my strong suit. I'm good at other things.
I was thinking about, in theory, as captain, I should probably do it, but my persuasion is bloody awful.
Oh God! It could be me, isn't it?
Well,
It can be what it is. It can be.
I'm kind of setting myself up to be kind of the face, aren't I?
kind of. You seem to be, like our lore master slash.
Multi-class as a bard.
Yeah.
I think what we're trying to say here is I'm a bit of a mouthy bastard, but okay, that's fine.
I was thinking of a delicate way to put it, but God, you got a mouth on you.
Yeah. All right then. Anyway, right then, ladies and gentlemen, now that you've heard our daring tale of rescue in the darkness, how's about any of you might want to join us? Out on the ice seas, we'll be leaving quite soon on our new shiny ship. We're heading off to Port Peril, where we're going to sign up to be proper pirates. If you fancy joining us, you're welcome to try. However, if you want to join our crew, you've got to prove that you are strong enough or cunning enough to be on the crew. If you're interested, meet us outside this very building tomorrow morning and we'll test you out. See if you got what it takes. We can't guarantee riches, but we can guarantee a good time. See you there.
Okay. Could you now make a persuasion check for me, please?
With disadvantage, yeah?
That would be a bit mean. It wasn't that bad.
Alright. Persuasion, yeah? Bazinga. Oh, that's a 7.
Woof.
Okay.
Oh, your persuasion's the same as mine.
Oh well, great. Oh, wonderful. Hold on a minute. My character sheet says it's something different. Oh no, it doesn't. I was looking at perception. Never mind.
Is that when you said, "Oh, I've got a good persuasion"? You were looking at perception.
Maybe.
So you say this, and there are some sheepish glances back and forth from the people listening. A little bit of conversation breaks out amongst the halfling men, but
Dev steps
nobody
forward.
immediately responds.
Dev steps forward and says, "Now, my brother says that he can't promise riches, but we can promise a good time. That's all very well, but it is worth noting that, when we broke away from our previous captaincy, we did make the conscious decision that the ship that we were going to run is going to be a fair ship. Everybody gets a share of the booty. And I'm going to roll a persuasion. Well,
Oh,
wonderful. That is a total of 9.
So there's some more hushed conversation, but it seems like everyone's afraid to speak too loudly. Timid, not wanting to put themselves forward. And the uncomfortable stillness responds to you.
Just go.
You see the feeling that you might be talking to the wrong crowd altogether.
Okay. I'll just look around and go, well, I'll just leave it there. If anyone wants to pick it up, they can. See you in the morning.
so like,
Okay. So, the evening continues. Food and drinks, and eventually to your beds. Now, I'm just going to say that the remainder of the days at the dockyard are uneventful. No frogs, no locusts, no swarms of poisonous ants or anything.
I'm disappointed.
No. And by the end of the week, you have a very fine-looking ship, which, even to you, is not recognizable as the ship that you sailed in on.
Nice.
Is there anything else you would want to have done while you were here? Des, I believe you would have wanted to make a brewery check or two.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I already made the checks, didn't I? I only had to make 2, and that was at the beginning.
Yeah, but you have to make one each day. Oh, sorry, no, you did say it was a number of days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I thought you had to make a second one at the end.
No, you make both of them at the beginning. One of them for the brewing and one for the mashing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I made both of them at the beginning. So we're waiting to see what the results are.
Okay, you're right. Let me check what I wrote down. Oh, yes, here it is.
Ah, yes, here he is. You're going to die. There we go.
No, unfortunately, the brew that you have made this time has not really taken effect. This was the one with the ghoul's blood, right?
It was.
You can tell just by looking at it. It's kind of congealed a little bit, and it doesn't seem to have fermented correctly. And you're pretty sure that it has not worked. So, still, you can do with that what you wish.
Press F.
Leave it. Yes, I will be probably discreetly dumping this into the sea in the first opportunity.
Okay. Wow, what a shame. I did quite actually want you to drink some ghoul blood.
I did not.
Okay. I would say that you have the time, though, on the last day to make one more, at least start a new batch,
Ooh.
if you'd like.
What have I got? What's in my inventory that I can make people squeamish with? Let's see. What was it? There was a thing I was going to use. Ah, yes, I've got a choice here. So I have a miscellaneous frothy green liquid, from the woman snake thing, or I have some
Yeah.
boar blood.
Yep.
Miscellaneous froth sounds pretty good to me.
I mean,
That is. That's the name of my second sex tape. Right, so
it's about as
That is
random as
not an
you get.
image I want in my head. That is not an image I want.
Wow.
yep, I'm gonna use the frothy green liquid.
Okay.
Oh.
So, would you like to roll some dice?
So the first one. Oh, come on, man!
Oh, wow.
That's a 10.
It's a 10. I mean, that's not a 9. It's a double
It's not
digit.
a 9. It's not a 1. Yeah, so that's the first roll. For the prep.
Come on.
And for the second.
Ooh.
That's a 26.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. We'll have to let that settle, and I'll let you know in a few days.
We're going to literally let that ferment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Frothy green liquid.
That does not sound enjoyable.
Yeah, so the first roll is for boiling the mash, and then the second one is for fermenting the brew.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes.
So yeah,
Okay.
obviously you set the DCs here, so that is your choice as to what happens there.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
There was
Yeah. Go on. Okay.
Yeah?
Go on, you go first.
there was one thing that I would probably do. I would on one of the evenings I'd probably chat to Marin. Or Merrill.
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 Yep.
I would chat to Captain Pegsworthy. There we go.
Hello, Torrin.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about your travels. How far have you been towards Hell's Harbour?
Oh, I've been there a few times.
If I asked you about a name, would you be able
Yes.
to hold that knowledge?
Okay.
You've heard me referred to as Lady Blackheart.
Mm-hmm.
Does Blackheart ring a bell?
I don't think so.
Good. I hope the bastard's dead. Anyway,
Looking for somebody?
oh, hopefully not. I don't want to see him ever. Well, maybe.
No, I'm
Regardless.
curious. I mean, let's say I was in Hell's Harbour, and let's say I were to meet a man with this name. How am I supposed to react when I see him?
Well, if you had the means, I would very much like to know his whereabouts.
Okay.
But they aren't someone you should become acquainted with.
Okay. I understand. If I do come across this fellow in my travels, I shall make note of it and pass this information along to you at the next opportunity. How does that
Alright.
sound?
I appreciate it. I feel we've I feel we've shared a little information, and you're happy to do something for me. Is there anything that you would you'd like help with? Any information or something that you've heard of and would like looking into? That's a little far out of your remit.
Nothing that immediately springs to mind, but it's always good to have friends around and in case something should arise.
Indeed.
As I said, I'm more than happy to leave here knowing that I've met some people that I can trust. That's very valuable to me indeed.
And us with you. Having a friend,
Exactly.
having a friend with such influence is definitely something that we appreciate and value.
He nods. Of course.
I do hope you aren't upset with the boys attempting to trade crew with you. I'll say with a smile.
Sorry?
I do hope you're not upset with the boys attempting to trade crew.
Trade crew?
Yeah, they were spouting off the stories and they got carried away and if anybody wants to come adventuring with us.
Oh, I think my men probably didn't feel that they were being spoken to. They are very loyal to me. Very loyal indeed.
It did look that way.
Most of these men have travelled with me from Underon. They were once soldiers under my command.
I see.
And when I left, shall we say, they decided they would come with me. They followed their captain, a once honourable general, to the Shackles to become pirates. As I say, very loyal men indeed.
It's good to surround yourself with loyalty.
As I said, people I can trust. Worth more than gold.
And we've spoken about finding you again. We will come up to see you at some point. And we'll
Please do. It is not far from here. The Firegrass Isle is somewhat of a rowdy place, I must admit, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure.
sounds like a lot of fun, to be honest.
Fun is definitely something that you can find there in abundance.
It's
What's abundance? A disco and a bakery.
oh my god.
I'm sorry.
If Des has just walked into this, I would cast Shocking Grasp on the bitch.
That was our character.
Oh my god.
Look. That setup does not happen every day, okay?
Oh my god.
You're gonna get yourself fucking smited one of these days.
Oh.
Smited,
Smoked.
blasted.
Oh man. Whew. I think that just hit me 10 times harder because I'm a little bit tipsy.
Right, I apologise for derailing the session. I do not apologise for the joke.
No, don't. That was amazing.
Christ.
Okay. Was that all, Torrin?
Yes, I appreciate your help and your knowledge.
Of course.
And I do mean that we will join you in Firegrass Isle.
Oh, I do believe you. I shall await your arrival.
Sounds good to me. I'll give him a little nod and I'll take my drink and move on.
Lovely. Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, please.
Go on then.
Over the few days, obviously, we're waiting out. At some point, Lani would have found Des and would just say to him, Des, you know that parrot that you found? Can I borrow it for a little bit? Sounds a bit odd, but I might have a little chat with it.
You. Sorry. I just need to clarify that. I've got fumes from ghoul blood still in my ears. You want to have a chat?
Yeah, well, something I've not ever really told you lot. I can actually talk to animals.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk to animals. Hello, parrot. How you doing?
No, I mean, like...
Pluck off!
I mean, like, I can understand them and they can understand me. It takes a little while to get into it. Yeah. I don't know what I really hope to achieve, but have I ever introduced you to my little friend with that?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. No, Lanny, I like you, mate. I like you. But if you're about to take your trousers off, we're going to have a bit of a problem, all right?
I don't know what you mean, Des.
That ain't a little friend. I've seen him shower.
He pops the cork of his necklace and out comes the little rat and he just holds him and he crawls up onto his shoulder.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
This, my friend. I've called him Damon, my little friend.
Right.
And
All right.
we've spoken quite a few times. I found him on the very first day we were actually on the ship, and back and forward. And he was one that actually looked into Harrogate's sleeping quarters for me.
Right. All right. That makes a bit more sense now. Actually, now I come to think about it. Right. All right. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. If you pluck, I hope you don't mind. You're going to go and speak to Lani. Apparently.
I mean, do you want to be with him or
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not just going to drop him off and walk away. I will stay here and listen to you talk to a parrot. Apparently.
Okay. And with that, Lani will, over the next 10 minutes, start to ritually cast with animals.
Okay.
Then,
So while you're doing this, I don't know what exactly your ritual entails.
so more than anything, it's just almost like a meditation, just kind of
Okay.
like some sort of undertones under his breath.
Okay. So Des, there's 10 minutes of uncomfortable silence where you're kind of stood there holding this bird, wondering what the fuck Lani is doing. This is occasionally broken by things like, "Oh, you big plucker," or "Go pluck yourself," which
Yes. This was funny.
sporadically come out this bird's mouth.
Yes.
Oh, you're
standing
going to
here-
love this guy in the end. You're going to love this parrot in the end.
Des will stand there holding it out, like listening to this, just kind of meditating on where his life choices have brought him, so that he is stood in front of a Goliath with a rat on his shoulder, holding out a parrot who keeps making puns about plucking things. Strange how life turns out, isn't it?
So eventually, you feel the spell take hold, Lani. And Des, I honestly don't know what you now hear. Whether you hear Lani talking in his normal voice and the parrot just kind of squawking in reply, or I have no idea. But Lani, the spell takes hold, and you can now talk to this parrot.
So as Lani finishes meditation, he looks up, he looks at the parrot, and quite a gentle tone, he just turns to him and he's, hello? You understand me?
Oh, what the pluck? I can understand you.
Where did you learn to talk, the things you come out with, they're they things you've heard many times before.
Oh, yeah. I just copy the stuff I hear.
And your former master, he sadly
he's fucking
has
gone.
perished.
He's
Yes, sadly. But did he have a name for you?
Yeah, he'd called me Pluck.
So just Pluck then. Okay, that's fair. And how long were you with him for?
Oh, since I was very small.
How would you feel about coming with us on a little adventure?
Oh, where you going?
Well, I think our ship is ready soon, and we shall set sail out into the ocean, wherever it may take us.
He's thinking about it, looking left and right. I don't know. I've never been out on the sea before.
Well, it's a common known thing that lots of pirates actually do go out onto the sea, and they're often sat upon a captain's shoulder.
Oh, is there enough to eat?
Yeah, plenty.
Oh. More contemplating.
Plus, you could be friends with my little friend here. And he sees the rat, but you must play nice.
Oh, it's a hairy plucker.
And Lanny turns to the rat and he says, Damon, this is Plug.
For
Plug,
fuck's sake.
this is Damon.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, hello, Pluck. It's nice to meet you. I'm Fred. My master has given me the title of Damon, and it is the name I am now known by. It's very glad to meet you. Oh, hello, I'm Pluck. Wait. They can't talk to each other. This isn't like a zone. This isn't like a zone of. Yeah, this isn't like a zone of mutual understanding. Then they can't understand each other. So yeah, you're gonna have to translate.
Lanny's gonna translate.
Yeah.
This is fucking brilliant.
So Lanny does. He will say, "Well, Mr. Pluck, Damon actually says hello. It's very nice to meet you, and he certainly thinks you should come with us."
Oh, okay. Do I have to stay with this bold plucker?
Well, he was the one that brought you back here, and certainly taken an affection to you. I think he's a good guy, really.
Tell him if he gives me more of those seeds, I'll come with you.
At that point, Lanny will turn to Des and say, "There's Pluck here, as he is called. Said he's quite happy to be with you and come with us wherever we go, but he quite likes those seeds you had, whatever it was. So as long as you keep him fed with them, he'll be quite happy."
I'm gonna choose to believe that when Lanny speaks to animals, he speaks as the animal. So I've just watched this 8-foot fucking shit brick house of a person just stood there going. So his face will just
switch to rat voice halfway through, and then begin to go backwards and forwards.
Oh, this is fucking amazing. Like, this is the highlight of the campaign for me.
You know what? I mean, the reason I was laughing so much is because for some reason, the reality of the fact that we, middle-aged men, are sat here, and you two, others in different countries, are talking to each other like as a parrot and a giant, and then you started talking as a rat. Just the sheer absurdity of everything. Everything.
That's D&D.
That's D&D. I love this game.
I love D&D.
You fucking
Oh, dear.
nuts, and I love it so much.
Oh man.
I'll have you know, I have a broken rib, and it's hurting a lot now, and it's all your fault.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, but also... Why?
Lanny,
What did
Lanny
you
will
do?
start, Lanny will start to wrap it up and just say, Pluck, I look forward to you joining with us, coming with us, and we'll have another chat again soon.
All right.
Thank you for taking the time.
Just the sheer look of utter disbelief and incomprehension on Dez's face. Just like, what in the living hell am I watching?
That's the best part for me, was just picturing Des stood there watching this unfold. Just
As
wide
Lanny
eyes.
comes to a finish, he kind of gives his head a little shake and turns back to Des and says, how much of that did you understand?
Absolutely fuck all, mate. Were you actually talking to him? Because from my point of view, you were just there clicking and buzzing and tweeting and how do you even make those noises?
It's certainly from years and years of practice. We've on the island we use lots of vocalization. I suppose it comes from that, but there's a small part of it does feel odd. It's almost like a magic thing. I don't quite understand it at the moment.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That was I've got to be perfectly honest. I've seen a lot of shit, and that was one of the weirdest things I've ever fucking seen in my life. That was something else. Right, yeah. So, I mean, dare I ask what he said?
Well, I asked him how he was and how he felt about dear old Master Lyle passing, which he was quite sad about. And what his name was.
I'm sure, yeah.
He does refer to himself as Pluck, so I suppose we have to kind of keep that name for him. And he copied a lot of everything he's learned. So that Lyle fella, he must have been almost like pre-programmed him to say all this shit,
Right.
just to annoy people, I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't admit I don't feel a kinship in that particular respect. So he's happy to go with us, I
He
assume?
said would he like to come with us, and he did have a think about it, and he unsure, but he said if you were happy to keep feeding him some grains and plenty to eat, then he was happy to come with us.
I need to ask, are you fucking with me here?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I feel like my brother and Torrin are about to pop out and start laughing at me, because this is fucking ridiculous, mate.
No, I'm completely genuine with you. Yes.
You know what? If it was anyone else, probably wouldn't believe him. But you, but I mean, mate.
A lot of this, I think, stems from my mother. She was druidic. She was a druid, and she could actually do a lot of things more than what I can do.
Right.
So
So-
into beasts and things like that. So something amazing. See her change from a normal Goliath woman self into like a dire bear. She could turn into. It was amazing. Huge, great bear. It's amazing to watch.
Right. So your mum turned into a bear.
Lots of things, not just bears. She could be anything,
Right.
but also other things of the druid nature. She could entangle nature and lots of other things like that.
Right. You know, Lanny, just out of interest, the different subject entirely. Isn't that spirit that you have in your necklace there? What kind of proof is that?
None left now, but it's like a moonshine. It's
Yeah,
Probably
that's
good.
making sense now.
80% at least.
Yeah, okay, I get that, right. Cool. So, the bird's name's Pluck, and he wants some seed, and he's going to come with us. Is that right?
If you want him, that is. I mean, could leave him here if you don't really want him, but
I mean, I kind of feel I have to take him now. I feel, after watching that, I feel kind of duty bound to follow this through and see where it goes.
I mean, I think he'd be quite happy living on the ship and a bit of freedom.
Yeah, sure. Right. You know. I think I hear my brother calling. You know what, Lanny? I'll see you later. Right. I'll be off and just like walking backwards. It's like yeah, sure. Right. I'm just gonna. I'll catch up with you later. I'll see you in a minute. Goodbye, Captain.
Des,
and I sidle away.
I'm just going to say, as you spend some time with Pluck over the next few days, you do notice that he will occasionally start to pull out his own feathers. This does seem to be a self-inflicted condition. Just so you're aware of that.
Is there any way I can like try and train that out of him?
Oh, we shall have to see. I don't have to think of how we'd like to go about that, but
All right, yeah, we'll do with
that. I mean, aside from literally physically trying to stop him,
well, I mean, you know,
you could, of course,
by any means necessary.
Okay.
Oh no, I suppose I could just ask Lanny to have a word with him, asking not to do it. I mean, so, apparently that makes sense.
All right.
Says,
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens next time he does it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone else wants to do? In that case, I shall say that the week draws to a close. The newly christened ship, what was it? Sea Breeze? You decided to name
I think
it?
so, yeah.
Yeah.
Is released from the dry dock and brought back into the water. And it is a fine sight indeed. As I said, no longer recognisable as what it once was. Nameplate clearly engraved on the side. Normally, Rickety would hold a more formal ceremony for a new ship. But as he's fairly certain that you're simply wishing to sell this ship rather than keep it for yourself, he seems to hold a shortened version of a ship's christening. But Merrill and his crew are there to attend, and as I said, on the last evening, the largest of the pig is roasted up and a great feast is had. And I assume the following morning, with everything done, everything set, you're free to leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Say our goodbyes
Rickety wishes
to the
you
good
well.
Captain and Rickety.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As I say, Rickety wishes you well, as does Captain's Pegsworthy. And hopes to see you soon on the Firegrass Isles. Okay.
Wonderful.
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Then we shall move to the open sea. Here we are, back on the map. So, I don't think you've discussed exactly where you would like to go from here.
I think we had a discussion about this out of game. But weren't we going to head south?
I believe we wanted to stay on the edge of the Shackles for now and move over along the coast to
Blood Cove.
Blood Cove.
Yes.
Well, I think part of your thinking was you need to get to a relatively large settlement to conduct some businesses.
Yeah. Sell the ship.
Sell our
Yeah,
ship,
get more
sell
crew.
our booty.
And get a
So,
faster one.
Smaller, faster, more
so
Better,
from
stronger,
where you
faster,
are,
harder.
Port Peril's up here. You have Quent, which is here, which is a fairly large city.
Where was that?
Here, it's on north side of Montague Isle,
Okay.
but that is, it's a bit of a distance from where you are.
Yeah.
Drenchport is, I think everything else is even further than that. Just checking, where's Tempest Clay? Yeah, everything else is further than that, except for here, right down the bottom right of the map, you have Blood Cove,
Sounds inviting.
which is a small city. It's technically outside of the Shackles, so it does not fall under the rule of the Hurricane King. It is a state of its own.
Yeah, I think we thought we'd probably go there because it wasn't part of the Shackles and it was out of the way. And if we obtained a new ship there, and sold this one there, it would be kind of cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we agreed when we discussed it. So,
Okay.
but as
Then you
always,
set sail?
I am happy to follow consensus.
No, I think that's probably the best plan of action for us.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, you're the captain,
definitely
Lanny.
happy with that. Yeah, Captain Lanny, make the final decision.
we will head the Blood Coat.
Dun dun dun.
Okay. Lani, I'm going to need a check to see how well
Yeah.
you navigate and how well you sail the ship.
Okay. Would you like?
I think as you're proficient with vehicles, it'll be plus your proficiency modifier.
Yeah, I'll just do it as a
Yeah.
plus efficiency. Yes.
Ooh,
Maybe a 17.
nice.
Well done.
Okay. So, you are sailing the ship as best you can. You feel like you're doing okay, more than okay even. But it is becoming increasingly clear that the simple fact of the low number of crew that you have, it's just going to take longer than expected. You're going to need at least 3 days sailing from here.
Of course.
So, another thing to bear in mind is your water supply. You've not had any fresh water since you left the island, actually.
Well, would we have
Rickety's
been able to
had-
fill up at Rickety's, or
They were in the middle of a drought. They didn't have much themselves. A little, enough to get you by, but you are getting low on water. So that's something you have to bear in mind. But I'm going to say it might have been closer to 4 days travel. You head towards Blood Cove. As you can see, you enter like a slight gully
with land meeting you on the north and the south, and the sea. I'm gonna actually, as you get closer to the coast, what you initially thought was a mountain. As you get closer, you realize this is in fact a tree, a humongous tree.
I'm sorry, what?
This is where? To south of us or to...
No, as you're approaching Blood Cove.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
As I said, you thought Blood Cove must be sat at the base of this large hill, or a small mountain. But as you get closer, you realize this is like an enormous mangrove tree, one of ridiculous proportions, perhaps a mile high.
Oof. What?
With
That's a big tree.
the trunk itself, I mean, many times the girth of a normal tree, and the roots of this tree are kind of sprawling out beside. You know what I mean by like a mangrove tree?
Mm-hmm.
Like twisted roots that are kind of clambering out into the water. So you have like these roots and branches which are kind of like bobbing up and down through the water, spreading almost like a nest around it. And as you get closer, you realize this entire city is built into the roots of this tree.
Whoa, that's cool.
And as the sun is setting, the darkness approaches, the lights go on across the city, and you see these little glowworms start to appear. And it gives this sort of magical feeling. And you can see all of these little like ramshackle buildings kind of like tacked onto these roots. There seems to be no solid floor anywhere. There's just like gangways and planks and rope bridges connecting all of these things together. And it's only much further back that you eventually get the feeling that there's actually land. But it would seem that this entire city is built within the roots of this giant tree.
That's awesome.
As you get closer, the water itself turns almost red. Definitely a muddy, brownish red. And you can only assume that the river that is flowing out of the mainland into the sea here is carrying this reddy colour with it. Perhaps giving it its name. So, you wish to approach and make dock?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think certainly on the way in, I think Lani would have turned to the others to have a little discussion, almost be like, do we just go right in, or do we maybe stop somewhere just outside, go in slightly quieter to start with, or...
I mean, don't forget, there are possibly people on the ship which might be able to answer questions if you if you have them.
Good call. I think Tally has got a good head on him.
So our designated navigator or our cook, Mr. Group, may have some information.
Oh, yes. Of course.
He may be drunk, but he's useful sometimes.
Do you wish to have one of them summoned?
Yeah, I think summoned for Mr. Group. He was the one who had always helped to us when we needed it, so...
Yeah.
Okay. He does turn up. He has been busy with some pig meat. But he turns up, seems relatively sober. I mean, there's always a faint, there's like a faint sniff of alcohol in him, but compared to his days upon the Wormwood, he seems relatively sober.
Oh, hello, Captain Skullcrusher. What can I do for you today?
Mr. Crew, obviously we weren't already aware we're heading down Blood Cove just to see if we can potentially sell off this ship. Go on from there, maybe buy ourselves another one or something. But have you got any advice? I mean, have you been this way before?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Blood Cove a couple times. What do you need to know? Look, this is not a pirate town, really. I mean, we are outside of the Shackles, and they will tolerate pirates there. But as long as you behave yourselves, right? The thing you got to understand is Blood Cove is basically run on business. And they'll tolerate just about anything there as long as it doesn't interfere with that business, you know what I mean?
Right, so on our best behaviour then.
Well, yeah, I mean, fairly well behaved. I mean, this isn't no, land of luxury or anything, but just don't cause any trouble, because there's quite a few people there you don't want to really mess around with. As I said, a lot of money goes through that port, so there's a lot of rich people there with men working for them who make sure that runs smoothly. So if you get in the way of that, then you might have a few people knocking on your hull. You know what I mean?
That's worth bearing in mind.
So you think we're good just to sail in and potentially start looking for somebody to see if we can purchase the ship, sell on the ship?
Oh yeah, I mean you should be able to just sail in, all right. I mean you'll have to probably have to talk with the dockmaster once you arrive, but as I said, as long as you make it clear that you're here to do business, then we shouldn't have any trouble at all.
Thank you for your help. Yeah.
Oh, it is a pleasure, Captain.
And with that, then we'll sail on into Blood Cove. Try and pull us up to the dock.
Okay.
Yep.
So you sail in just as the sun is touching the horizon. The docks are well lit though here. And in fact, I said the lanterns they have here are not particularly bright, but there's just so many of them. And then with the addition of all these glowworms, it's almost like there's this warm glow which is kind of filling the entire harbour where you are. So vision is actually quite decent. Okay, as you dock, you are relatively quickly approached by a dwarven woman. She's wearing a long leather coat but without sleeves, brown in colour, and she has grey hair which is pulled back in a tight braid. Eyebrows sat very high on her head, and the edges of her mouth slightly turned downwards. She stood there with a book in hand, seemingly waiting for you to disembark.
And we do so. As we leave the boat, Lani will turn to Torrin and will actually say to her, Torrin, would you be able to try and sort this out, make sure we're good to be here and we've paid our dues, this harbour, this dock, whatever you call it. And he will actually hand her Initially the pouch with the 500 gold that came with the squib. Essentially, you pay for as needed.
Hi, I can do that. I'll take a wander and see what I can find. And I'll sort everything out. Don't worry. I'll pocket the gold, and I'll let Zima out and let her sit on my shoulder and just sort of look towards the docks as we're pulling towards them.
Okay. Are you going down? Do you talk to this woman?
I will do, yes.
Okay. So, as you approach, she pulls out her book, nods curtly to you. Hello?
Good afternoon.
I'm the dockmaster here, Tesha Ambertine.
A pleasure.
Your first time in Blood Cove?
It is indeed, yes.
Okay, she opens up the book and pulls out a pencil from within her jacket. So, the name of your ship, please.
The Sea Breeze.
She raises an eyebrow. Sea Breeze. And your captain?
Captain Skullcrusher.
The other eyebrow rises. Skull Crusher.
That was a joke. Captain Lanny, please.
Captain Lani.
Is there any reaction to me saying that was a joke?
Nope. She
All
just
right.
seems to be writing everything down that you're saying.
Fair.
Are you his first mate?
No, I'm an advisor.
Then I will need the name of the first mate as well, please.
The first name is Mr. McCrae.
One Mr. McCrae. Okay. So, dock fees here in Blood Cove are 8 gold per day. Do you know how long you wish to be staying?
I'm afraid not. We're looking to sell our ship and purchase a new one.
Oh, selling your ship. Well, you're welcome to try. We sell, buy and sell many things here in Blood Cove, but ships are not usually one of them. But you're welcome to ask around. So,
Do you have any
as
idea
I said-
where I could find some information about that?
No, not the foggiest. 8 gold per day. I expect the payment for the first 2 days now.
We'll start with a week,
Oh,
and we'll work from there. And I'll count out 14. Oh no. 8 per day. So
35.
yeah, that.
40. Nope. 35. My brain's just stopped working.
So's mine.
It's 56, right?
Yeah, that one.
56. Wow.
Why do we try and do maths late at night?
Bad idea.
Way too
Yeah.
low for maths. Okay.
We say playing a game mostly based upon maths.
If you need me, I shall be in the dockmaster's house here, in my office. And she points to a medium-sized wooden building in the middle of the main harbour, next to quite a large inn by the looks of it. Is there anything else?
I wondered where we may be able to do any trade. Is there a specific market that would deal in trade and goods?
She points almost between the two buildings I just mentioned, and like on a parallel run of harbour behind is quite a large section. And even from where you are, you can see a number of buildings and stalls. She says, "That's the free trade square. If you're wanting to buy and trade, you can do so there. If you're wanting to move larger quantities, then you may have to talk to one of the houses here."
And do these houses have names or a specific contact I should look for?
Well, you're probably best going to the Calve Exports. It is run by the Barzonis.
Good to know.
As I said, for larger quantities.
That's larger quantities, I see. It does seem that they may be interested in a ship potentially.
Possibly, you shall have to ask.
I do so appreciate your information.
Was that all?
For now, yes. We will surely see you soon for another payment or to notify you.
As you're talking, as you're yet finishing the sentence, she already turns and wordlessly starts walking away.
Rude.
Does she really?
Yep, leaving you stood on the dock.
What's around me on this dock?
From where you are, you can see, as I said, her office isn't far away. The most obvious thing to you is a very large, what looks to be an inn, kind of L-shaped. It's taking up a large portion of the dock here. As I said, I'm saying a dock, but it's like you have like the individual docks of the ships branching off of it, but the main run of it is actually quite wide. It's big enough that you have buildings there. It's like a street, basically. You can see that branching off to the west, which looks like to be more like a warehouse district. To the east, you can see more... maybe slightly more residential. There's a tavern, more docks. Behind that, to the north, you can see this free trade square that she mentioned. That seems to be more like a marketplace. And then behind that, you can see even more layers, I'd say, of docking. And then as you get further back, like these areas seem to rise up as like the buildings are higher up within the roots until you actually eventually see multiple layers back the trunk of this actual tree, and you can see that there are actually like buildings built into the trunk of this massive tree.
I think that as she's walking away, I'm just going to cast Thaumaturgy.
Okay.
And the sound of a tree splitting and the wood groaning and cracking. It's just going to emanate from underneath her, under the dock.
God.
Okay. You do see her jump to the side and then look down and look around her, unsure of what
just happened? She tentatively touches a couple bits of wood under her feet. But happy that it seems solid enough, she does continue walking.
I do it again. As soon as she takes another
What's the-
step.
Hey!
What's the range on this?
It's 30 feet.
Okay. Same thing happens again. This time she stops and starts to look around.
I've
right.
turned away at the second thing, and I'm just looking at our ship. Just nonchalantly.
Okay. By the time you turn back to her, she has walked further down to her office.
To mutter to Zima. She's a right bitch, isn't she? And I'll walk back up onto the ship. And I'll come up to Lani and say, 8 gold a day. I paid for a week. Couple of places we can do some selling. Not really a huge ship trade here, but you never know. We can try and figure something out. I did use our real names, but I thought that maybe one of the twins could deal with that, shall we say, when we're leaving. This is not a place that we're going to come back to anytime soon.
Ooh.
And with that, I'll wander sort of on the deck and order people with tying things off and preparing the ship to be docked for a while.
As Torrin would have been speaking with Lani, does say, thank you, Torrin. Yeah, I suppose worst case we could always we can't sell the ship, get the supplies we need. We find somewhere else more out.
Well, yeah, we can always head up to Fargrass and maybe our good old friend the captain, Mr. Pegsworthy, can maybe point us in the right direction. He owns 4 ships after all. He's got to know where to get them.
Now, I don't know if anyone else has thought of this, but what are we going to do when we do sell the ship? Because if I remember rightly, we still have Plug down there in the bilges.
Oh, we'll take him out.
I was going to say, are we going to leave him here, or are we going to take him with us? If we do take him out of there, I haven't been down there for a while, so I don't know what state you two have left him in. But is he
He's
fit
alive.
to kind of? Yeah, but there's alive and then there's alive. Now, if we
I don't know what you mean.
if we kind of walking through the streets to our next ship, is it going to make small children cry and women faint away?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we ain't walking him anywhere.
We could put him in a barrel or a chest or something.
Yeah. Lani can carry the damn thing.
Right then. Well, as long as we've considered this.
Yeah. Well, we'll lock him in a crate and we'll carry him to the next ship and we'll dump him below deck and we'll find somewhere to chain him up there.
Right.
And we can just be very plain with him and say, if you make noise or make things difficult, we'll double our efforts to make his life a living hell.
Right. Yeah. No, seems fair.
After all, he punished us enough for our time at sea. Maybe we can give a little measure back to him. I don't think we've even scratched the surface.
Oh, I
Have we,
don't think
Devvie?
so. No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah, well, less than the better.
I'd say so. Should we head in then?
I think that sounds like a good idea.
Should we stay on the ship for tonight and then explore tomorrow?
Well, what time is it now, Mr. DM?
The sun was just setting as you docked.
I see. Maybe we should stay on the ship tonight and we'll
Have a wander tomorrow.
conduct some business tomorrow.
Yeah.
I might have a little walk around tonight. Just to check our immediate surroundings. Devvie, if you want to join me on that one, I'd rather not do it alone.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Go for a little bit of a walk.
I'm going to cast Mage Armor on myself as we're leaving the ship, as a precaution.
Okay.
And I'm also going to cast, as a ritual before we leave, Detect Magic. And
Okay.
my plan is to wander along the docks, and I have a radius of 30 feet all around me. If there are any magical pings, I just want to sort of note where they are and what they are. From any of the other ships or any shops we may pass or any people that may walk past with items or trinkets or, you know,
It's a
things of
30-foot range, yeah?
interest. Yes, it's 30 foot.
Okay.
And it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I've got a fair amount of
I
time
shall-
to wander around.
I will let you know. Now, I think I would just like to show you the map of Blood Cove at this point.
Oh, yes, please.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I thought about not doing it because there is a list of locations on there, but I think trying to move around something this size with me just explaining it is just going to be a bit too tricky.
Mhm.
So I'm just going to show you the map.
Ooh,
Whoa,
that's cool.
that's badass as fuck.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, by simply walking around the docks, you would be able to identify most of the locations found on the map anyway, so it's not really a big secret letting you know what's on there. And now you can have a brief look, see if there's anything there that catches your interest, possibly one or two areas you'd like to visit. But we'll do that next week. I know it's very anticlimactic, but we're going to end the session there tonight.
That's not anticlimactic at all. That is so much opportunity for hijinks and wonderfulness.
Yep. Awesome.
Yep.
Very
Right.
interesting.
Yeah, it feels a bit, I don't know, I think I've always managed to put in a cliffhanger up till now, so it feels a bit of a...
It's good not to have a cliffhanger. It's
Yeah.
nice to have our blood not pumping in our ears.
I wanted to set the precedent of not having one, just so that you don't always expect one.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a nice place to finish, and
what she
almost
said.
perfectly on time. We just have 2.5 minutes left for Richard. I believe you wanted to take us out tonight.
just finished off then. Obviously, thank you very much if you've made it this far in the video and you've been keeping up with the series so far. If you haven't done already, like and subscribe to us. Would always go down really well with us. It helps in everything we do. And if you do want to follow us on any other sort of social sites, we are TNT Nerds on Facebook. Obviously, you're on YouTube and Twitter. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, where we post a bit, we are TNT_nerds. Now, again, if you've been following us, you will have hopefully picked up on that in 2 weeks' time, we are running what will be the third installment, or second technically, of this arc of our Battle Royale on Twitch. So we'll be running a live stream event. Which was really great fun the last time we did it, and we will have our returning champion come back again to see if she can hold on to her title. But that will be held on the 2nd of September, and that'll be 8 o'clock British Standard Time. And like I say, hopefully you can join us, get a little bit of participation in with us. Should be quite a fun one, and we hope to see you there.
Yes, they're going to make a point of saying there should be a fair amount of audience participation in this one. We have set up a little system where you can roll dice in the chat because we're going to be rolling on things, and we're going to need some people there to roll for us. Otherwise, it's going to get awfully lonely.
Yeah, so that will end us for tonight's session. Again, thank you very much, and as always, remember, don't be a dick, and see you next time.
Don't be a dick.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.